Hey friends, welcome to the Time for Living podcast, your ultimate guide to finding the time you need to crush your business dreams while still having time to live your one beautiful life. I'm your host, Lucy Clark, a devoted boy mum, dedicated business owner and time-finding expert. Say goodbye to the I'm too busy mindset that's holding you back from growing your online business. No more feeling overwhelmed or stuck in the same place year after year. Each week, we'll dive deep into strategies for being intentional with your precious time so you can hit those business goals while still making time for yourself and your family. If you're ready to create more time, get practical tips and prioritize the steps that will make the biggest impact on your business and life, then you're in the right spot. Pop in your earbuds, steal a quiet moment, and let's find time together. Hi friend, welcome back to the show. Last week, we talked about how to plan out your business year by breaking down your goals into quarterly, monthly, and weekly steps. If you missed that episode, I highly recommend pausing this one and heading over to episode 22. I've linked it in the show notes for you. It's packed with insights that will set you up for success. Since that episode aired, I've been hearing from so many of you. The big question? How do I actually turn those plans into action? How do you take those big goals and break them into tasks that fit into your life and business without feeling overwhelmed? So today, we're going to focus on exactly that. How to plan out your quarter in a way that's simple, effective, and completely doable. Because let's be honest, none of us have time for overcomplicated systems or plans that look great on paper but never actually get done. And can you believe we're already stepping into quarter two? It feels like yesterday we were setting those big, beautiful goals for 2025. But here we are, and now it's time to take a fresh look at where we're headed. Maybe you've already mapped out your quarterly milestones, those big picture goals that light you up. But now you're sitting there thinking, okay, how do I actually make this happen? If that sounds familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. And guess what? I've got you. Today is all about getting practical. We're going to break down those quarterly milestones into actionable steps so you can walk into quarter two with clarity and confidence. This isn't about adding more to your plate or creating another overwhelming to-do list. It's about getting intentional with your time and energy so the things that matter most actually get done. By the end of this episode, you'll have a clear plan for what to focus on this quarter, and more importantly, you'll feel ready to make real progress towards those big dreams of yours. And if you're listening to this podcast at a later date thinking, I've missed quarter two, don't worry. The best time to start planning your goals is right now. It doesn't matter if it's at the beginning of a quarter or halfway through. Every day is an opportunity to reset and refocus. So here's what I want you to do. Grab a notebook, your favorite pen, or even just open the Notes app on your phone, because this isn't just about listening, it's about taking action. Let's map out a plan that works for your life, your business, and your goals. You've got everything you need to make this quarter count, and I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Ready? Let's make it happen. I'm thinking if you're listening to this podcast, you already have your goal for quarter two, or some kind of goal that's ready to be mapped out. You most likely know what you want to achieve, but maybe you're not so sure what to do next to actually make it happen. That's okay, because today we're going to get specific about quarter two. This is where we take that big, exciting milestone for the quarter and break it into smaller, actionable steps that you can actually execute. Here's the thing, your goals aren't going to magically happen all at once. Quarterly planning is like tackling a giant puzzle. You focus on one section at a time. It makes everything feel more manageable and way less overwhelming. Firstly, let's start by outlining your quarter two milestone. What's the one big thing you want to accomplish by the end of this quarter? Write it down at the top of your page or in your Notes app. Maybe your goal is to launch a course in June, or perhaps it's to streamline your client onboarding process, or even start a podcast. Whatever it is, get crystal clear on what success looks like for this quarter. Now that you've written down your milestone, let's break it into key tasks and, most importantly, the output-based actions that will move the needle forward. Think of these as the building blocks of your milestone. Ask yourself, what are the essential steps I need to take to achieve this goal? Are there any deadlines or important dates I need to keep in mind? For example, if your goal is to launch a course in June, some key tasks might include finalizing your course content, creating marketing materials, and developing a pre-launch sequence. But here's where we go deeper. Instead of vague tasks, focus on output-based actions, things that are within your control and are measurable. Here's how it might look. Task 1, finalize course content. And then the 3 action steps for that task. Complete module outlines, record video lessons, and create supporting materials like worksheets or slides. Task 2, create marketing materials. 2 action steps for that. Write 5 promotional emails, design graphics for social media. And then the task 3 would be something like develop a pre-launch sequence. 3 action steps for that task could be create a 5 email sequence, sharing insights and tips related to your course, host a live webinar on a topic related to your course to generate interest, and offer a free resource or mini course to build anticipation. See how much more achievable that feels. Instead of staring at a massive task, like launch a course, you now have clear, actionable steps to guide you forward. And let's also talk about deadlines for a second. Deadlines aren't here to stress you out. They're here to keep you accountable and moving forward. Assign realistic deadlines for each action step so everything aligns with your quarterly goal. For example, complete the module outlines by April 15th and record your video lessons by May 15th. So whatever your quarterly milestone is, the key is to break it down into smaller, actionable pieces. Start by thinking about the big tasks that need to happen to achieve your goal. And if you feel like you're coming up blank, use ChatGPT to brainstorm for you. Ask it to give you 3 tasks to achieve your goal and 2 or 3 output-based action steps to achieve each of the tasks. Then you can work backward from your quarter 2 milestone and set deadlines. By doing this, you'll create a roadmap that keeps you focused and on track without feeling overwhelmed. Remember, progress doesn't come from trying to do everything at once. It comes from breaking things down into small, intentional steps and showing up consistently. So take a moment now, outline your quarter 2 milestone, identify those key tasks, break them into output-based action steps, and assign deadlines. And now that you've got your plan for quarter 2 laid out, it's time to zoom in even further and make it work week by week. This is where the magic happens. Weekly planning is how you get those big, exciting goals and turn them into manageable wins. It's also how you avoid that dreaded, where did my week go feeling when Friday rolls around and you realize you've been busy but not productive. Sound familiar? Let's change that. Here's how we're going to do it. Start by looking at the tasks and action steps you identified for quarter 2. What needs to happen this month? Now break those tasks into weekly chunks. Think about what you can realistically focus on each week without feeling overwhelmed. For example, if one of your quarter 2 tasks is to finalize course content, week 1 to 4 might be all about completing module outlines. Weeks 5 to 8 could focus on recording video lessons, and week 9 to 10 might be dedicated to creating supporting materials like worksheets or slides, and week 11 to 12 could be for reviewing and refining everything. Write it down, literally. Seeing your weekly focus on paper or in your favorite app makes it feel real and gives you a clear direction for the week ahead. Now let's take it one step further, because even with a weekly plan, life can get busy and it's easy to let things slide. This is where daily micro actions come in. These are the small, bite-sized steps that fit into your day no matter how packed your schedule is. Even if you can only carve out 15 minutes, those small steps add up over time. Here's how to create your daily action plan. Start with your weekly focus and break it down into specific actions for each day. For example, if week 1 is about completing module outlines, Monday could be researching course topics, Tuesday could be drafting outlines for module 1, Wednesday might be refining those outlines, and so on. The goal here is to make each day feel doable while still moving the needle forward. This is where you can use ChatGPT again, and it can become your secret weapon for staying organized and on track. By leveraging AI, you can turn your big picture goals into a step-by-step schedule that fits seamlessly into your life. Here's how you can use ChatGPT to create a customized weekly plan. Start by asking ChatGPT something like, using the following tasks and action steps, and list them, please give me a detailed weekly plan for each step. I want to complete this in 12 weeks, starting April 1st, and I have 1 hour per day, 5 days a week to dedicate to this goal. This prompt gives ChatGPT all the context it needs to generate a realistic schedule tailored to your specific time constraints. And it doesn't have to stop there. You can ask ChatGPT to format the output as a table or even a CSV file that you can copy directly into Asana, Trello, or your preferred project management tool. This makes it easy to organize your tasks in one place and track your progress as you go. If you are wanting to create a table, here's an example of how you might phrase your request. Using the tasks and action steps outlined above, create a table showing weekly goals for each task. I want to work on this goal for 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, starting April 1st. Tools like these help you stay organized while also allowing flexibility. For instance, if life throws you a curveball one week, you can ask ChatGPT to adjust the schedule based on what's realistic moving forward. Simply say something like, I wasn't able to complete week's 3 tasks. Can you redistribute them across the next 2 weeks while keeping my time constraints in mind? The beauty of using ChatGPT is that it doesn't just create generic schedules. It tailors them to your unique needs. You can refine the plan to fit your lifestyle and ensure it stays aligned with your big picture goals. Whether you're juggling a packed schedule or shifting priorities, this approach helps you create a plan that feels both realistic and achievable. And of course, no plan is set in stone. Progress isn't about perfection. It's about showing up consistently and adapting when challenges arrive. Some days will feel productive, while others might feel like an uphill climb, and that's okay. The key is to keep moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. What matters most is showing up for yourself and your goals. With intentional planning, tools like ChatGPT, project management platforms, and a commitment to steady actions, you'll have everything you need to make this quarter count. You've got this. Let's make it happen. So let's bring it all together. Today, we took those big quarterly goals for quarter 2 and broke them down into actionable, manageable steps. You've outlined what needs to happen this quarter, mapped out your weekly focus, and even created daily micro actions to keep you moving forward. You now have a clear roadmap to tackle Q2 with intention and without the overwhelm that comes from trying to do everything all at once. Here's the thing. Planning is powerful, but it's the action that makes the difference. By taking the time to break your goals into smaller steps, you've set yourself up for success. You're no longer staring at a massive to-do list wondering where to start. Instead, you have a plan that fits into your life and works with your schedule. And that's how real progress happens, one intentional step at a time. And if you're wanting to snag my AI prompts that go along with this episode, head over to timeforliving.co/planning and I'll email them over to you. Trust me, they're going to make your life so much easier. And there's one last thing. I want to celebrate your wins with you. Share your quarterly plan with me on Instagram @timeforlivingco using #timeforliving so I can cheer you on and support you along the way. You've got this. Quarter 2 is yours for the taking. Let's make it count. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and I'll see you back here next week for more strategies to help you create a life and business you love. Hey friends, thank you so much for tuning in to the Time for Living podcast today. If this episode inspired you to take action and save time, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a written review and subscribe over on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback means the world to me and helps us reach even more amazing people like you. If you know a friend who needs to hear this message, share this episode with them. And remember, your time is precious, so make every moment count. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep living, and keep making time for what matters most.